G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we are on Archipelago. It's been a while. I think the last game we casted from Archipelago was probably from Season 0. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We got ourselves some big boys in the Archipelago today. Let's introduce them for you. Spawning in on the east side, or let's go with the East Island. In the color blue, playing as the Order of the Dragon, it's Deniska. And on the west side of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Juicy's Legacy, it's Frank the Mantis Shrimp. That's a good name. That is a very good name. When it comes to names, like, that is probably one of the better names, I'll say that much. Now, interesting civilizations that we've got here. We see a distinct lack of Japanese. We don't see any, we don't see any Portuguese. We don't see any Italians. But that would be they would be the wrong games. Portuguese obviously being the best civilization when it comes to water in Age of Empires 3. Italians, arguably, one of the better water civs in Age of Empires 2. But here, we see the Juicy's Legacy, we see the Order of the Dragon, and we see a matchup that is a little bit different, because we're on land a little bit today. Not a whole lot of land. So let's talk a little bit about this map, and about how it plays, and about what we can expect. So, number one is Archipelago, a lot of water. It's one of the few maps that's got water. So there was another one called Warring Islands, and that was quite a popular map. But the reason why Archipelago is different from that is because Archipelago is random islands. So basically, you don't know where your opponent is. You can kind of have a guess. Oops. You can have a guess as to where they are. So like here, as an example, I'd be thinking maybe they're over here, maybe they're down here, maybe they're up here. But normally they're not that close to you, but sometimes they can be. I remember there's been Archipelago games I've been thinking to myself, why the hell are you there? So that's always something to keep in mind. But there's a number of ways that you can look to play this. So obviously, water is going to be the biggest component of it, but there's no reason why you can't see a little transport ship move around the side and try and get onto land, do a little bit of harassment. It has happened before, and it may happen again. The other thing to note is that when it comes to some of the changes that they've made to Archipelago, you used to spawn in with a lot of wood lines. Like, you would spawn in with a forest like this. So I think what they've done is they've definitely reduced the wood lines down. They're still quite significant, right? Like, there's enough wood here to probably last you until, like, the 15-minute mark. Easily. I would even be pushing maybe the 20-minute mark. You got to remember, it is a water map, though, so you're going to be making a lot more wood-heavy vessels. If we take a look at the war junk, 200 wood. The junk is 150 wood. So it's expensive on the wood side of things. So hopefully what we start to see is players moving out of their islands a little bit sooner, which I like. I think that's actually a smart move, to have people not just play around water, because often when it came to this map, often it would just be like, okay, whoever had the most boats just won, and that was it. But now the most boats often might mean whoever's got the most wood. So these sorts of decisions should hopefully see it evolve a little bit. Let's talk about openings, though. Let's check in with Frank and see how he's doing. Now, this is a different Frank. I got a friend who's a Frank, and he works for he works for a certain somebody. I'll say that much. But I suspect it's probably a different Frank. I don't actually know if Frank the Mantis Shrimp is the same Frank, but he's opened us up with obviously the Imperial Official that he starts out with. How's he doing on taxes? 34 tax in here. Still only with the 2 vills on gold up towards the top side. I don't know why, but I feel really zoomed in. Is it just... Do you guys feel like I'm zoomed in as well? Has my perspective changed when I wasn't looking? It's sure. Oh, I did it again. I did it a second time. I don't know. I feel like I'm super zoomed in. Maybe it's because I've been playing a little bit of Civilization. He says a little bit. Okay, it's a bit. It's a fair bit. And I can zoom out much further there. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm so zoomed in, because I can see all the intricacies of the buildings here. It's like, hold on a minute, have I always been able to do this? Anyway, it's we've got age ups coming through. Arkan Chapel coming in over on the east side. Over on the west side, we've got the Meditation Gardens. Not a bad Meditation Gardens by the look of it either. It looks like Frank's probably going to be able to pick up the gold, stone definitely, and a fair bit of wood as well. Now, Meditation Gardens are great because they do provide you those infinite resources, irrespective of whether the resource is no longer there or whether it is still there. So that's a key factor. But Frank now going to be looking for that second dock as well. We do interestingly see him making fishing boats during the transition period. Normally during the transition period, players will look to stop making fishing boats just simply because it's going to be about making sure you've got as many military vessels as you possibly can. Though, one thing to note is neither player has actually done any exploring with the fishing boats. So one of the things you can do is look to get a bit of an idea on where the enemy is at. Explore with a fishing boat during the Dark Age. It is intentionally very, very dark, but the age up does come through nicely, and he does indeed pick up the gold. We'll check in on the other side, though. The Archon Chapel comes down over for Dennis here. There it is. One of the best landmarks in the game, the Archon Chapel, though arguably for the Order of the Dragon, not as good. Only 15%, not the 40% that you would typically see. Let's take a look and see what the plan is, though. It looks like we immediately have vessels coming out. Does Frank know where to go, though? Let's see. Frank is moving. His attack moving into the stealth reef. This is it must be some. I'll be honest. If I was out on the open ocean and I saw something that I couldn't see through to the other side, I would not go into it. I'd be like, let's probably steer clear of that, guys. That is an island. So anyway, more and more vessels now looking to join the party. Fishing boat's going to be forced back away at the 6-minute mark here, as Dennis being absolutely menaced here. We had to throw that in at least once. Come on, get out of here. That's probably going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this game. Dennis being a menace. Numbers of vessels still looking good. He's got the triple combo, the 1, 2, 3. We see it out on both sides. It's going to be all down to the micro, the galley. He could look to pull fishing vessels as well, fishing boats. That would be the angle that I'd be looking to play. He's going to do it. He's going to try and block. A lot of damage on these fishing boats, and now able to clean up with the junks at the back. Gets a lot of Vil kills here early on. Frank the Mantis Shrimp becoming the Frank the Mantis Shark. Is it? There's no Mantis Shark, is there? There is a Manta Ray. Yes, Frank the Manta Ray. That's what we're witnessing right now. The part that I'm most excited about is when these guys move to the other islands. Like, that's the part that I'm really giddy about, because like I think if we could give some feedback right now to the devs, because obviously, you know, you put Archipelago in the ranked pool, and this is a ranked game, by the way. These are Conqueror 3 players, by the way, that are playing Archipelago. So I figured, you know what, we might as well give them a shout. Maybe, like, take some of the gold off the main island and put them onto the other islands. Like, surely you can code that in, right? That's got to be in the ability of the developer to code that in. Like, hard code 1 4K gold to the island, and then you got to expand. I like that. I think that's a smart move. I also like the sacred sites. I like that there's only 2 sacred sites, at least on this spawn. Sometimes you can get 3, if I remember correctly. And sometimes they'll spawn on the same island, which is very fun. Because if both players realize that, you can literally just park, just go down to the bottom island, take the sacred sites, and just start building keeps. And there's nothing your enemy can do. I mean, obviously, they can react, but it's difficult. It's difficult. You know, if there were 2 sacred sites here, and you've got a keep here, and, I don't know, a keep over here, and some outposts and some stone walls, like, how do you do that? You gotta bring some battering rams on a transport ship? I guess that's probably the primary way. Anyway, we'll check in with Frank. We'll see how you doing back here, Frank. No villagers coming out for Frank, interestingly. Just gonna be opting only exclusively for houses here. And look, Frank, that's an interesting move. We'll say that much. He's got the village available to him. Demo ship's gonna run down towards the enemy, but doing a decent job of continuing to kite back. I don't think he took any actual damage from that, because if he did, that would be a dead Hulk. There's no way you're only taking 300 damage. Actually, maybe he did take damage, because I'm pretty sure it's got fall-off damage now. So if it's a direct hit, it's like a 95% damage to the Hulk. Back towards Dennis, though. Check in, see how he's doing as the vessel numbers continue to build. Neither player looking to spend any real resources on land. No stables, no raxes, no archery ranges. I'd love to see from Dennis a stable into just 1 or 2. One or 2 horsemen, gilded horsemen. The trouble is, when you do that, it's immediate. The effect is immediate, because 150 wood, that's a Hulk, almost. Or, let's go with a galley. It's a galley. All right, let's see how good the kiting is. Decent micro so far, but he's moved forward. A little bit of a mistake right there. The attack move was accidentally sent through, but on the other side, have a look at this. We've got them moving in on both angles. Connections come through, but the micro is good. Only 1 Hulk going down, and Dennis demonstrating some of the deadly footwork he is known for, that absolute menace. Meanwhile, the numbers building for Frank. How many are we on, Frank? We're on 5 war junks right now as he continues to push in. Pull the fishing boats. Pull the fishing boats. You're going to have to repair. Pull the fishing boats to repair. Come on, you can out-repair that easily. That's easy. Don't let the fishing boats die, Dennis. All right, he's got it. He's heard my calls. Speaking of my calls, I don't know if you can hear in my voice, but I've just woken up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I've shifted around my sleep schedule, and I've just found this, okay? Just to give you a bit of an idea, I am in my mid-30s, okay? And I've just found that there is a sleep schedule that is, like, absolutely amazing for me. And that's like, you go to bed at, well, for me, go to bed at 6 p.m. and you wake up at 2 a.m. And I'm a night owl. I love to be awake in the night, but I also love the morning. And I feel really bad when I get to the morning and it's like the sun's coming up and I've been awake for 14 hours. It's like, this is not good. You feel guilty because now you know you're going to miss the whole day from tomorrow. So like you've robbed Peter just to pay Paul. But what's so cool about this this time frame, and obviously I appreciate it's not for everybody. I mean, you know, it's going to be difficult doing working a full-time job, a 9 to 5, having to commute home and then immediately go to bed. I mean, you could probably do it, but I'm sure you've got a family, stuff like that. Anyway, the point is, I get my night owl time, which is like right now. This is my night owl time at 6 a.m. in the morning. Everyone's asleep upstairs. I can focus, but I don't miss out on the day. I still get to have breakfast with the kids. So I'm loving this. This is great. The only trouble is there's not really much social life because all the social events happen after like 5 p.m. and it's like, oh, 5 p.m. Sorry, time to get ready for bed. So anyway, that's my life at the moment. Just thought I'd keep you guys updated. It is give it a try if you can. Give it a try. It's pretty decent. Demo ships get taken out. The other thing I've noticed as well is I often wake up before my alarm, which I mean it can happen, right? Once you start getting into a routine, but like. I will wake up, so I'll go to sleep at 6, and I'll wake up at 12 a.m., and I'll just be like, okay, I'm ready for the day. It's wonderful. It's so good. It's like I'm getting 3 hours in my day. Because, I mean, ideally, you know, did you know there's people that have this gene that allows them to only require sleep for 4 hours? I'm not even kidding you. Like, they can operate on 4 hours of sleep the same way they can operate on 8 hours of sleep. Could you imagine that? And apparently there's, like, no negative effects for their body. That's crazy, dude. That's, like, the most overpowered gene that you could have. Because you're just getting more hours in the day. You just get to see more of life than everybody else does. You get, essentially, you're living longer than everybody else. Even though technically you spend the same amount of years on the planet, you see more because you're awake more. So you can do more. A garden. We're getting a little bit off topic here, but do you remember when you were younger and your parents would go outside and do the gardening and you'd be like, what the hell's why are you gardening? Stop doing, what is this? Why? And now you're older and you're like, man, the garden is where I want to live, dude. That is the best place in this house. All right, demo ships coming in from either side. We've got a big, massive demo onto the south now, but they are all getting kited away. Beautiful micro so far from Dennis. Doesn't even need to pop the sails. Very well done there, Dennis. And now on the defense, doing a wonderful job with the docks, making sure they're able to demolish out these enemy ships. Fishing boat brought to the front as well. And for the first time in this game, we're starting to see Dennis take control of the demo ship. We completely missed it, and so did Frank. Frank versus... I just realized we got Frank versus Dennis, two of the classic names, firing over the stealth forest. I'm just going to call it the stealth forest. What do you even call this? The stealth reef. I guess it's like... Dude, how can you not see over that? Look, I can see... Man, don't give me that. Don't give me that you can't see over that. Nice kiting, but unfortunately does take quite a bit of damage there. Needs to pull back these lower health vessels. Now looking to try and fight demo ship through the middle. It's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. He hits 5 of them. Dennis, you absolute menace. Oh, it was huge. Dennis, oh my lord. Somebody give that guy a medal. That was incredible. Look at the way he just manages to shuffle them through and boom, straight to the front. Oh, I tell you what, Frank's not even paying attention. Frank's fallen asleep at the wheel. And I'm not talking about the driving wheel. I'm talking about that big one that they got up the back. You know, the one that... Why is there no wheel up here? I remember playing Arcade. It's an MMO. You may have heard of it. You may not have heard of it. One of the best gaming experiences of my life. Made a lot of good friends. And one of the things that we did was we'd go out on big vessels like this. You'd have merchant schooners, you'd have galleons, and that was good fun because there was always a guy up here that was manning the helm. Then you could kill him. It was always good fun. It was hard to kill. He got a buff that made him harder to kill. So yeah, it was always, you know, it was never easy. Anyway, we've been. I'm not going to say that we're cursed. You know, when a cast gets cursed, typically it's it's off topic, but it's like, it's a bit of a cursed off topic. It's like when we're talking about like Halloween and poison candy, like that's the kind of cursed cast. This is just a vibing cast. Like, we're on archipelago. We're not taking it too seriously. We're just chilling. We're just chilling. No one's left their islands yet, and they've still got heaps of wood. I was completely wrong about the timing of this wood, which, I have been... Bro, calm down. It's all right. You'll be okay. There's islands out here. Dude, that was impressive. All right, yeah, let's check in and see how the wood lines are going. I mean, the wood lines are absolutely... Nah, there's way too much wood on these maps. Especially once you start spreading a little bit, like you bring some vills down here, you bring some vills over into here. Oh, there's too much wood. I'm gonna say it right now, there's too much wood. I don't know how long this game goes for, but I will tell you right now, they're probably not even gonna leave their islands. That is so depressing, man. That is so depressing. Come on. That's the whole part. That's the whole reason of this map. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Frank finding a little bit of an avenue to attack a second time. We'll check in now with Frank and see how he's doing. Look at the amount of warships he's got as he makes his way down towards the enemy side. And I think it's okay for us to cast archipelago games as long as we just treat them like this. You got to understand, they're a bit of a meme. They're a bit of a meme. Oh, the demos, he was not paying attention, turned around, had him on different control groups right there. More demos get taken out on the south side. Hulks continue to move up. He's too close to the docks, though. If the demo ships come out, he's going to get absolutely destroyed by them. Frank with a huge mass of warships here in this game, looking to try and clean out Dennis off the water. Dennis, what are your options? Dennis, what's your response, sir? Dennis, how do you play this? How do you look to menace your opponent today, Dennis? Unfortunately, Dennis is getting completely menaced. 16 minutes into the game, and I don't know how Dennis comes back from this. He's looking to try and take advantage of the docks. You can see he's got warships coming through. I think the key thing here would be demo ships, though. That's going to be the big thing, is you want to try and like bait your opponent in onto your dock line. Make sure you don't lose too many ships. Bring them all the way down to here, and then let the demos hit the floor. More warships coming out. Demos rallying in as well. Going to be able to hit more. And now Dennis, he's stuck. Dennis is in trouble. Meanwhile, back at the base of Frank. Is Frank just looking to go? I'd be going castle right now. Frank, you've just taken an amazing fight. You don't need to supplement this army anymore. Just go castle. Get your upgrades. You can go imp as well. I mean, I wouldn't even mind an imp at this point. And what real bonus are you going to get from imp, though, that you're not going to get in castle? Like, the key thing that you're looking for is that upgrade, the warship health upgrade, armored hull. So that's the main thing that you're looking for here. Obviously, you get a couple more upgrades, like you get the demo ship upgrade in the Imperial Age. That's another big one. And now more and more fishing boats looking to run out the back. And Dennis is in trouble. Dennis has been absolutely destroyed. Let's check in with Frank, though. Because, we've obviously talked about our friend Frank, who is a developer for Age of Empires 4. And he would never make a mistake like this. Not Frank the Mantis Shrimp. But I was going to say Frank the Mantis. I'm not going to say the word. But it rhymes with shrimp. And it also starts with S. But you just never know with YouTube. You never know. You never know. Nice micro from Frank. Very well played, Frank. I'll give you that. So, yeah, I think, like, the biggest feedback I'd give for Archipelago is just, like, take the wood off. Like, don't let these guys have so much wood. Even the stone, like, just give them a small stone. Put that out on the big islands. Let them explore the map. Don't just make it one-man island versus another man's island. Because, realistically, all these other islands could just be... I mean, they're non-existent, right? Like, who cares about these other islands until you need them? So we got to make them need the islands a bit more. And then maybe we could have a competitive Archipelago tournament. That's what I'm talking about. And I know you guys are like, Outback Octagon, that'd be pretty cool. It's like, no, Outback Archipelago. Great Barrier Reef. Great Barrier Reef tournament. How about we do that? We can get sponsorships from Qantas, Australia's airline. Okay, now we're getting cursed. Now we're getting cursed. Dennis, how are you pushing out right now? Dennis, you're a little bit too menacing at this point. Oh, demo ship. He's going to get a demo ship to the face. Everybody's got a plan until they get a demo ship to the face. Nice micro. Nice little stop micro there. I don't know if you saw it, but that was quite good. I like the Dennis. This is where the bully is getting picked on by the guy that normally gets bullied. Dennis, watch it, Dennis. Nice micro, but he still loses one for it. Montlu Academy coming through. He's done the right thing. He's identified that Castle Age is the correct timing approach here. So at this point right now, so all you'd be looking for as Frank is just go straight into all your upgrades. That's the key thing that you're looking for here. So now that he's hit Castle, oh my God, have a look at that. Have a look at Dennis's gold. Dennis, we got to talk about your gold, my friend. That is a lot of gold that he's stacking up right now. He could, okay. If I'm Dennis right now, how do I win? Okay, because I think that you've got to throw a Hail Mary. You can't just be fighting mono. I mean, you can. There is definitely an element to it. Like the games where I've watched, like Demu as an example, where he looks like he's lost on water and still somehow he's able to manage to get back onto it. So it's definitely still possible. It's just that the enemy's got a really big lead at the moment. So how do you go about finishing the game? Oh my Lord. How do you go about finishing the game when you can't really access water, especially if your enemy is this good and they know, okay, I need to keep a junk at the back just to watch for any potential sneaky shenanigans. You could probably try and go out this backside because you see that, right? Like if we see from Dennis's position, he knows about this junk. He knows it's sitting here. So he knows he can't go that way. So maybe come down and around. And I think that could actually be the play. Now, do we have any landmarks that are on the water? We've got no landmarks on the water. So one of the things that you could do is you could look to actually just go for an all-in. It could be difficult to do, especially once your enemy gets a perimeter set up. But if they don't, I think it's 100% the play. So I'm hoping that Dennis, he heeds my call right now and takes the advice that, look, water is lost. Even at this point, right? Well, that's the third time I've done it. Even at this point, right, water is just lost. Because Frank has got such an advantage on you. If you keep making warships and he keeps making warships, he's always just going to have more warships. He's got that critical mass down now. So you've got to start thinking outside the box, or maybe thinking outside the pool is probably a better way to say it. Now, of course, there's always going to be circumstances where maybe you get a crazy demo and it hits 8 of them and now all of a sudden the tides are turned. But, I mean, these guys are pretty good, right? We're talking Kong 3 players up here. So these guys, they know what to look for. They know what to look out for. So expect to see some quality micro as Frank moves in. I think realistically, I'd love to see like a whole bunch of spears. It happened. It happened. Now, one of the things that you could do is if you were Frank, you'd just be able to build another landmark. You'd just be able to build another landmark over here. You could go find the space and go and build another landmark. But we don't need to worry about landmarks right now because it looks like we're gonna have a landmark victory as Frank takes on Dennis. And just moves in, gets nice and close, gets nice and comfy, says, how you doing, bud? Don't mind if I do. Demo ship comes through, takes out a couple, just a few. Second one on the way. Couple more down. Fishing boat's getting taken out. Dennis working his magic, trying to get back into the game. The dock, it's also got the relic inside. Keep in mind, he can't get any sprinkled emplacements here, but a sprinkled emplacement definitely wouldn't go too badly. Oh, there it is, the palace guards. Oh, no. And it's Dennis that got guarded by the palace. You hate to see it. You can hear the Vils dying, and it was at that point he knew he done goofed. I was going to say the correct thing, but you know we're a family-friendly channel now. We have to be. The YouTube demonetizations just come through too often. We say one swear word 14 minutes into the video, and they're like, yeah, you can't say that on YouTube. Sorry, man. It's like, bro, we're all adults here. No, not allowed. Expansion continues. Outposts are online as well over towards this west side. Frank is absolutely setting up. I know he's a mantis shrimp, but he's starting to look a little bit more like a human the way that he is exploiting the natural resources of this map. More palace guards over towards the top side. He's looking to really finish off Dennis right now. Frank is going ham. Now, keep in mind, archipelago games, typically they average between 4 minutes and 7 minutes. So to have an archipelago game that's gone for 24 minutes is incredible. This is a statistical anomaly. You would not normally consider this in your statistics. You'd be like, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Frank and Dennis they agreed to a no-rush 26-minute game. That's the reason why it was so long. But yeah, these are normally very cutthroat games. It can be because the reason why is just like any small difference, and you're able to deny the entirety of what have we got? Oh, it's got to be a prelate. I was thinking, what have we got here that's moving in the transport ship? Is it a king? It's not a king. It's not a king. It's a prelate. He's looking to pick up some relics. And now moving forward, and I love what we're seeing here from Frank. This is something that's quite common. on Archipelago, once you start playing this map a lot more, is you move your docks into the middle of the map like this. Oh, he's going to try for a lot of Vils. Could have gone a little bit closer. Vils escape. Vils escape. So by doing this, what you're actually doing is you're getting healing from your dock whenever you're close by to this. So keeping this is really important. On top of that, you can also get naval arrow sleds, which is exactly what he's doing here. And it basically just makes it like a big, long springald that you've got. So the more of these that you can get, so I'm kind of surprised we didn't see this sooner. We're at the 25-minute mark. This would have been very helpful, you know, coming down here at the 10-minute mark, 15-minute mark. Even from the side of Frank, like having docks up here are really nice. But now Palace Guards are on the way through. Outpost looking to come online. He's got the springald in placement just in time. But Vils have got nowhere to go. The Vil count continues to grow, but only for Frank. As Dennis falls. He falls very quickly as the Palace Guards run just as fast. And now, over towards that northern island. Everything's still going absolutely fine. We've still got plenty of wood over here. We're not fussed at all. Vil's just circling. Vils are just circling around the stone. I mean, we've all done our stone circles before, but this time, things are different. Vils continue to run. He's just going to throw down a lumber camp. He just says, you know what? I'm done. Dennis is looking close to over. He's looking close to give it up at this point. 26 minutes into the game. Dennis makes one final push, potentially. He's under attack on land. The Palace Guards are doing work. Down 40 military. Down 60 economy. He's fought valiantly this game. But the setup from Frank has been absolutely perfect. He's played it well. I don't know where it all went wrong for Dennis. He played defensively. He had the healing. I think he just needed to pull fishing boats a little bit more often. There were a couple of instrumental positions where having a Hulk live a little bit longer could have given him a huge advantage. And he wasn't able to find it. And because of that, it's been difficult for him ever since. That single decision, that's what I'm putting it down to. Not really. As I said, I don't know if there was one specific decision that I could say and point to that was where he went wrong. But Frank has absolutely got his mantis. What does the mantis have claws? Is that what they are? Mantis? It's got those weird little arms. Are they claws? Pincers? Maybe pincers. They've probably got a very scientific name that's exclusive to them. Like, well, technically, it's not a finger, but it's not a toe. It's like, okay, all right, buddy. Okay, sure. Well, I'm going to call them pincers. Anyway, he's got his pincers all over this game right now. Frank now going to be going Imperial Age. Have a look at this. The Juicy's library now going to be coming down. Frank the Mantis Shrimp has become Frank the Mantis. I was trying to think of a word that started with S that was like something to do with booming, right? Like you could call him a shark because like loan shark, like Frank the Mantis Shark, but we've already used that. Doc's now looking to get taken out. Dennis, you got to be honest. I mean, to be fair, like from Dennis's perspective, he probably doesn't know how far behind he is, right? He's only lost 54 Vils, but in his head, he's like, did I really lose that many? Like when you think about it, did I lose that many? Like I got 15 in the TC. That was pretty good. I think I'm okay. But he sees the next naval invasion. It's coming. It's going to happen, whether you like it or not. The death drop has arrived. And Frank the Mantis Shrimp prepares. Let's go with prepares. It's still early in the morning. By the way, Drongo drink of the day. We completely forgot 28 minutes through for all the real ones right there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's water. Because I ran out of juice. not juice, but like I ran out of juice. Like I don't have any more juice. Orange juice. That's it. It's room temperature water. It's from yesterday. It's still good. It's just a little bit warm. Springald emplacement's doing work. Holding on. Archipelago is back, baby. And I'm hearing it. Are you hearing that? The bow chads? Are the bow chads out? I'm here. No. Oh, it's the naval cannons. It's the naval cannons, dude. There's a naval cannon upgrade. Yeah, they got the 7-tile naval cannon upgrade. Look at that. Look at the kiting, dude. Oh, Archipelago is so back, dude. Is this it? You know what we're going to see after this cast? Everyone and their best friends are just going to start upvoting Archipelago and downvoting Dry Arabia. Nobody wants to play Dry Arabia. We only want to play Archipelago. Show me your Archipelagos right now. Get them out. Oh, those are big. Damn, are those natural islands? Phew. Jeez Louise. Keeping the south side, and that's going to seal the deal, as unfortunately the last relic gets denied. Ladies and gentlemen, the match has been completed, and Dennis Kya has given it all up to Frank the Mantis Shrimp. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. I was going to shout them out, but I don't think either of them stream, so we'll leave it there, and if they do, I'll leave a link down below.